Testing. All right. You can cut out that other.
Hey, yo, hey. Yeah. Run it up, Blondo.
Hey, see y'all from Texas, where we sit riding swangers and put diamonds in our neck.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? It is Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. And we are back with another HBCU tonight. As always, powered by HBCU Overdrive. Make sure that you like the stream. Make sure that you comment, share, and most of all, subscribe to the channel. Also, if you're on the Twitter page, watching from Twitter, make sure you hit that follow button on Twitter, and then also go to the YouTube page and hit the subscribe button. And if you can, we are also taking donations. You can always donate to Cash App, PayPal, or the Zelle. So, going on right now. Sorry for the delay. Been trying to get my contacts on because I have been irritated with my allergies. I'm irritated with my allergies. So I got my allergies, have my allergy medicine, clear eyes. What up, Will Bove? What's going on? All the way from Rockwall. So, first and foremost, before we get down to the whole nitty-gritty, and I wanted to make this a whole panel show right here because I want to get people's input. And I want to get people's insight of what's going on or what happened. Hey, Uncle Said, I want you to come on up if you can, because we can chop this up, see what needs to be done. But let me get into some news. On my local side, shout out to my alma mater, Cedar Hill. Girls basketball team are playing in the state finals down in San Antonio this weekend. Class 6A Division 2. So what's going on, Mr. Tasha? How you doing? So that's what's going on right here, and just got some news, a word. My frat brother, my Masonic brother, James E. Mays II, has officially retired from coaching, and I guess with his athletic director duties at South Oak Cliff High School. He has put it in an official statement that he is hanging it up, being down with South Oak Cliff for coaching and in the administrative. On the administrative side also for the last 34 years. So I want to go ahead and give a huge shout out to my frat brother and my Masonic brother, Coach Mays of them Golden Bears. While in that era, as a coach, he has coached some of the bigger names in high school basketball in the city of Dallas, including one, Darrell Shady Arthur, who also went to go play at Kansas, played in the NBA for a couple of years, also coached, if I'm not mistaken, I think he coached Tony Petit, aka Batman, was on the same staff with Tony's brother Derek. But yeah, shout out to Coach Mays and everything that he does that he's gonna do in his endeavors. Other than that, we gonna go ahead and I want to give I want to say kudos to President Zelensky, the Ukraine, who stood up to the authoritarian rule of Trump and Vance this early afternoon at the White House. It's kind of see, well, hey, you know what it is. He ain't back down from it, so he let it be known what what needs to happen, and he also told them that you need to stop kissing Putin's, you know what. Other than that, we got a good. Oh, look, y'all know the last time y'all saw me, I used that R word. They said it was kind of it was derogatory, but y'all know I grew up in the 80s. We used that word so much. It was embedded in my DNA. It's embedded in my language. But he does look like he kind of slow. It do look like he ain't got it all in his head. I know he's smart as hell. I know he's smart. I know he's smart, but he ain't got it all in his head. He act like he running something, but he really ain't. But that's another story within itself. Hopefully everybody went out there and went to go shop black today. I hope everybody went to go shop black. Hit the boycott. A lot of us depend on the bigger names, the Walmarts, the Targets, the whatever it is that they used to have a strong DEI incentive. But go shop at a place like Costco. Go to where I work at, Walgreens. Walgreens. We have not given up our DEI initiative. And I thank God that the company hasn't done that, because they gotta understand Walgreens is based in Chicago, Illinois. And if you think them folks in Chicago about to change for that little remedial president that we got, he got another thing coming. Yes, black owned all day. It don't matter if it's a grocery store, if it's a restaurant, if it's clothing, shoes, whatever. If it's black owned, go shop it. And you continue to shop there, because why? Them Waltons need to feel them pockets being hurt, even though we know they ain't gonna feel it like that. But they'll know when it's a little dent in their finances. So other than that, we are going to go ahead and hit that good old commercial break. We'll be right back, and then we'll go ahead and start on tonight's show. 1 second.
Yo, it's your boy Doc Holiday with HBCU Overdrive, and I am proud to sponsor Merch Sports. Check out his new line of collection, the Black College Football Fan Club collection. It's basically designed to show support and give respect to the rich history and tradition of black college football. And as you already know, the best college players had to play at HBCUs before integration. So go ahead and check it out over at shopmerchsports.com. Merch Sports. Merch for the sports enthusiasts.
All right, we are back. Look, I don't like going to Walmart half the time. Shoot, and I used to work for Walmart. Make me want to go to HEB. HEB got their DEI. They ain't changed nothing. That's here in Texas. So let me turn this light down a little bit. Irritate my eyes. Say you having beef ribs from Needless. I got you. So I am going to go ahead and put the link in the chat if anybody want to join me for this this serious conversation that we need to have. Issue student dies in hazing incident. Now let me go ahead and read the article. Let me go ahead and read the article. And there was a couple of articles, one from WBRZ. Another one is from New Orleans, out of New Orleans, WDSU. And this is coming out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A Southern University student is dead in what is being described as an off-campus incident. The student, Caleb Wilson, 20, and a Kenner native, was brought to a hospital in Baton Rouge around 3 a.m. Thursday unresponsive. According to the coroner, an autopsy is underway for Wilson to determine his exact cause of death. The Wilson family issued the following statement in regards to their son's death. Ending quote. On behalf of the Wilson family, we want to express our deepest gratitude to everyone who has offered their love, support, and prayers during this incredibly difficult time. The loss of Caleb has left an unimaginable void in our hearts, but your kindness and compassion have provided some solace. Caleb was a bright and talented young man with a promising future ahead of him. His passion for life, his dedication to his studies, and his love for music and the Southern University Human Jukebox marching band were just a few of the many qualities that made him an extraordinary person. We are committed to seeking the truth about the circumstances surrounding Caleb's passing and ensuring that no other family has to endure such tragedy. We appreciate the efforts of the Baton Rouge Police Department, Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, and the Southern University community in their ongoing investigation and support. As we navigate this painful journey, we ask for your continued prayers and respect for our privacy. We find comfort in knowing that Caleb's spirit lives on in the memories we cherish and the love we hold for him. Thank you once again for your unwavering support, end quote. Also, there was a statement that came from Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, National Fraternity Incorporated. Issued the following statement regarding the investigation into Wilson's death. Quote, it is with profound sorrow that we extend our condolences on the passing of Caleb Wilson. His loss is deeply felt, and our hearts go out to his family, friends, and all who were touched by him. Quote, Caleb was more than a blood son, grandson, brother, nephew, and cousin. He was a scholar, an exceptional member of the Southern University Marching Band, and a passionate and dedicated leader in student life. We have been informed that the local authorities have launched an investigation into this tragic incident, and we fully support their efforts to seek the truth. Currently, our foremost priority is standing in unwavering support of Caleb's family. We have extended ourselves to them and are ready to assist in any way possible during this difficult time. We recognize that many of you may have questions, and we are actively working to gather accurate information. In the meantime, we ask for your patience, your prayers, and solidarity as we honor Caleb's memory and support those grieving his loss. End quote. Letter was sent to all fraternities and sororities and clubs on Southern University's campus, ordering them to stop all membership intake activities until further notice. And when I said something like this when it happened, when I first heard about it, that Southern is going to go ahead and put a moratorium out on on all the organizations, Greek and club organizations until you I mean, and that's in a sense it's almost protocol now. That you put a moratorium out to where you basically investigate, and then once that moratorium, you feel investigation come out, then what's going to happen is it's going to trickle down to the other organizations, and they're going to try to find out what's going on. What do y'all do? What goes on when you do this? Because you can't lie to these folks now. You can't lie to them. This is much more serious than what folks are really, much more serious than folks really think about. Wilson's father is Deputy Corey Wilson of longtime Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office. What to do, man?
What's going on, man?
I'm here battling allergies. I'm good. So they have on behalf of Sheriff Pinto, office extends condolences to Deputy Corey Wilson and his family following the heartbreaking loss of his son, Caleb. Deputy Wilson retired last year as a sergeant after serving 35 years with the JPSO. Deputy Wilson's commitment to public service has continued, with him currently serving in a part-time capacity. The JPSO stands in support of Deputy Wilson and his family. We ask that their privacy be respected as they mourn this unimaginable loss. And then I also have Pilgrim Baptist Church. They put out a tweet, church in Kenner, sending condolences. Southern University sent a statement. Southern University A&M College is aware of an off-campus incident they may have resulted in the death of student Caleb Wilson, a junior from New Orleans majoring in mechanical engineering. The campus community extends condolences to his family, classmates, and loved ones. Southern is cooperating fully with the Baton Rouge Police Department, which is in charge of the investigation. No further information is available at this time. Counseling services are available for Southern University students, faculty, and staff. Resources can be found at website subr.edu/UCC. Human Due put out their statement also. So this young man was pretty much loved by everybody. And it's a crazy thing too that the last thing that you would be doing that had, not saying real significant, but real significance, real thing about it, was kid marched and they just played the pregame for the Super Bowl. They just the human jukebox just did a pregame. They played in the pregame for the Super Bowl, where they brought out both teams. is it's crazy that he was on a not just a national stage, but an international stage. International stage. Just a couple of weeks ago. Just a couple of weeks ago. When was the Super Bowl? What, when was the Super Bowl? February the 9th? Like 3 weeks.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. He was on an international stage, getting bring out either the Chiefs or the Eagles. Get to see in the background of Kendrick Lamar. Was on the field at the Superdome. And 3 weeks later, we gotta go through this again. We gotta go through this right now. 3 weeks later. Like it's like I don't even think he even had a chance to even savor the moment of the fact that he played. You get what I'm saying? That he played in the Super Bowl. But at the same time, let's get down to the nitty gritty. When will this stuff stop? Like when will young men and women understand that why put somebody's life in jeopardy and then put your own self in the same jeopardy also? So with that moratorium, basically, like I said, the moratorium basically is going to be they're going to investigate what is going on, what happened. They're going to fully investigate what's going on that campus. And they're just not going to start with the local chapter of Omega Psi. They're going to start with the local chapter of Omega Psi Phi. But they're going to go to the links of almost every fraternal and sorority organization or club on that campus. Because it's the only way that we can kind of get in the sense that, hey, don't do that. You got anything for me?
Yeah,
I
Doc,
wish I,
what's going on, man? I know I ain't been up in a minute. Uh, Greetings to the chat as well. Yeah, it kind of hit home for me as well. Of course, I'm a member of the D9 myself. Um, but as a parent, um, as a parent, you never want to see stuff like this, for no child, man or woman. Um, it kind of, you know, had some flashbacks about, some of the stuff that we did back in the day that, you know, still to this day we're repenting for, if you will. Um, but his dad was successful, known in the community and stuff like that. And, it's just a bad and sad thing. You know, kind of makes you, reflect on a bunch of things. You know, um, And like I said, when you're pledging and you're online and going to rushes and all that stuff, you don't really think towards things of that nature happening. Um, but some people, they just don't want to let it go. You know, um, and especially, but like I said, I feel so bad. Bright future. He was in a band. Just well like young man.
Mm-hmm.
Well put together, and it hurts. Because like you said, now everybody. Matter of fact, I got a memorandum early this morning on they really about to crack down. The hazing aspects and stuff like that because you have to understand. These people are you know they're taking it far too far, and they are doing things, trying to prove a point and all this other stuff when these are not the old days anymore. You know, and then now what's happening is children that we board, they trying to pledge now, and
Mm-hmm.
you go into parent mode, like I don't want what happened in the '90s, to Lil Sid, so you start thinking about stuff like that, and then stuff like that kind of makes you you know stray away from what the principles that it was founded upon.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't founded upon, you know, it just wasn't founded on that, like I said, they rolling over in their graves right now, from, things of that nature. Um, I remember when I went to college, fall of '94, and I remember the Capitol was off the yard and all that. I mean, you still have something there, but I never forget this guy, Michael Davis. He had got killed at Southeast Missouri uh, State. We used to call it Seymour, but they still call it Seymour. And,
Mm-hmm.
he died similar fate. And it's just, 29 years later for me, uh, after I played or whatever, um, that stuff like this is still happening. And again, it's very disheartening. It's very, you know, bad, on all fronts because, once they seek justice for this young man, I mean, you know, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, they're in big, big trouble, you know, for doing that, while allowing that to be done. And, that's just, that's not the way, and I will admit at one time in my life, when I was young and dumb, I thought that was the way, because that's what happened. That's what you
Mm-hmm.
do. But, when you mature as a person, you mature on all fronts, when it comes to not only learning how to govern yourself, but govern your kids, govern people, things of that nature. And I can't say it too many times of, how my heart goes out to that family and my heart goes out to that chapter. Uh, but, you know, there's one thing that God said, and He said, vengeance is mine. So we have to right now just leave it in God's hand and, just pray, for that family. pray for that young man that lost his life for, you know, becoming a member of the Divine Nine. But I can say, again, because I am a member of it, so I'm not a hypocrite. Um, I feel bad about what happened. Um, I try to talk to some of the young nukes, and tell them, it's about the information and not so much about, the hazing aspect, uh, because people can seriously get hurt trying to prove a point. And you don't want that phone call. As a parent, you don't want that phone call. You don't want the phone call saying, hey, your son passed out. So again, my condolences, uh, and just know that that representation. Hopefully everybody looks at us that doesn't represent us all. I'm not a member of Omega Psi Phi. I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. But we all have pitfalls. And, as a D9 member, at this time, I want to just ask for everybody's forgiveness. And um, just hopefully this will be something that, really, really needs to stop. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. Because, like I said, not only are people getting hurt, but people are dying, and that's not a good thing, because that's a form of murder. Is what it is. So again, just keep everybody in your prayers. Keep that family in your prayers. Those Southern guys, they're gonna basically reap what they sow, and we're not here to judge them. But the only thing is we can do is just kind of uplift everyone's spirit, because like I said, as a parent myself, and I actually have a son that's in college, he's a freshman, it's making me think a lot. It's been on my brain since yesterday. It's having me think a whole lot about this thing. So, but that's all I had to say though. Thanks for having
You stay up here, Mr. Ford. How you doing today?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. We just talking about what's going on, what happened, transpired down on the campus of Southern University.
Yeah, I'm listening. I didn't know anything about it, but I want to piggyback off what Noop said. I want to extend my condolences to the young man's family. This is tragic, Like you said, he's well rounded. You said engineering student, member of the band at Southern. I mean, that's what it's all about. Yeah, this is tragic, man. I'm just listening because I didn't know anything about it. I hadn't even heard it. I work with a lot of Southern people. Nobody, and we used to get together and go at each other about sports and schools and all that. Nobody's mentioning. And I saw your advertisement and I said, what did happen? Your advertisement said about the tragedy. So once again, I'm like Noop. I extend my condolences to his family and to his loved ones.
Yeah, so like I said before, I talked about this before. This kind of hit close to home for me. And I want to kind of read this part right here. This happened back September the 16th, 2010, on the campus of Prairie View A&M University. The parents of a Prairie View A&M University student from Dallas who died in a hazing incident the year before, he passed away in 2009, have settled their wrongful death lawsuit against their son. Fraternity court record shows. So this is the time where they settled the suit, where they sued the They sued the university and the chapter and the fraternity and the members over his death. Let me see. Um, but so this kind of hit with me because this dude I brought in to our chapter for Alpha Phi Omega when I was at Stephen F. Foster, and he came in a year after me. So we brought him in, initiated him in and everything. So this it go. October the 21st, 2009, Prairie View, Texas. School administrators called Wade an emerging leader, while school officials stopped short of saying his death may have been a result of a hazing incident. Nothing is being ruled out. A second semester transfer student, 20-year-old Wade, was a junior major in biology. He was also a prospective member of the Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. Sean Elam knew Wade from church back in Dallas and considered him a good friend. He pretty much stayed to himself. Elam recalled, he was just a very nice guy, generous, spoke to everybody. School administrators say Tuesday morning between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m., Wade went for a run at Hempstead High School with another student. He had difficulty breathing, collapsed, and was taken by car to North Cypress Medical Center in critical condition and later died. University police and student affairs are now investigating Wade's death and whether hazing may have played a role. Prairie PV spokesperson, Sheila Hughes explained our investigation with hotel interviews, getting documentation of what exactly happened leading up to that. What involvement Mr. Wade would have had with any organizations, whether it be the one he wanted to be a member of or other organizations. And once they have, figured what was going on, that it was hazing in that incident, the school did put out a moratorium and they suspended everything. And I think they suspended it for almost a year, for over a year. Also in this incident, I remember was the fact that they also questioned the chapter, the Alpha Phi Omega chapter at Prairie View, and see if they had any other involvement since he was already a member of the organization. In fact, I had talked to one of the guys. I remember I was in Atlanta. I talked to one of the guys, and he pretty much was saying some derogatory things, and I had to stop him because I was like, "Hey, you're not gonna talk about my boy like that. Like it wasn't even almost a whole year that my frat brother been in the ground, and you want to try to talk bad about him? Come on now. We all, like I told him, we all want to know what had happened to him. He just, I told him, I said, he just as a brother to you as he is to me. We all said the same. We all did the same, said the same thing as far as our rituals and everything go. Don't treat him like nothing else. So basically what happened is a group of them, they went out on an Indian run. And if you know what an Indian run is, if you run it in a line, the back gotta come up to the front and keep pace. And then you got to do a lap doing that, and the next person that's in the back got to come up to the front and keep pace. So that's what had happened with that. And so here's the thing. His dad was a prominent pastor. He was associate pastor at Oakland Bible Fellowship, one of the bigger churches in the city. His mom was just everything black, but she was an advocate of education. But then she became an advocate of stopping the hazing. Like, they pretty much stopped everything. They pretty much stopped everything. And then if you really want to go to that, let's go back in 2004 in California with the ladies, aka where they went into the ocean and 2 people drowned. And we all know they got national spotlight on that one.
No, didn't they pass a federal law against hazing in the 80s? Remember, a kid died up in, was it Cornell or somewhere? Where was that at? This was it mid 80s? And they passed the Congress passed a federal law against hazing. I'm trying to look it up now. See if you can pull that up, Doc. Put in federal law against hazing 1980. See if anything come up.
All right, let me see. Let's see. Hazing federal law. You said 1980s?
Shipping mid 80s or like 86, 87. I think the kid was at Cornell or somewhere. This was a white kid. And the mom, she led a crusade. And then Congress passed a law, made it a federal offense to be involved with hazing. I'm just, if anybody remembers that, anybody remember that? It had to be 86, 87.
Yeah, I'm looking for it, but they're talking about when Congress passed it in 2 years ago.
Was this 2 years ago? I thought it was in the
80s. Stop Campus Hazing Act is a federal law that aims to prevent hazing in higher education. The SCHA was introduced with bipartisan support. So what does the SCHA do? Require colleges to report hazing incidents in their annual security reports, requires colleges to create campus-wide hazing prevention programs, require colleges to publish their hazing prevention policies and the organizations that have violated them, defines hazing as any act that intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly endangers a student's health or safety. What are examples of hazing? Causing sleep deprivation, causing someone to consume alcohol, drugs, or other substances, causing someone to perform sexual acts, using threatening words or conduct, causing someone to perform a criminal act. What are the consequences of hazing? Hazing can be a third-degree felony if it results in serious injury or death. Hazing can be a first-degree misdemeanor if it puts victims at risk for physical injury or death. This will be considered a third-degree felony. This would consider to be a third-degree felony if it results in death. So it results in a death. So basically, what they're going to do is they're going to go ahead and whoever is the dean of pledges, they're going to go after him. They're going to go after assistants. They're going to go after any one of them dudes that had anything to do with what happened to that kid right there.
Yeah, the one that comes to my mind. Remember that they killed that drum major down there at Florida A&M.
Yeah.
You remember that? That was after the Florida Classic.
That was in 2011.
Yeah, that kid was from Atlanta, from the Atlanta area somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Robert Champion.
That's him. That's right, Robert. Now, what happened with that case? It was because I know they went to court. Did people go to prison and all that? What happened with that?
Hey, like I said, did anybody go to prison from that case right there? I think somebody did.
Or I know
I
it was a
think
lawsuit, right? I know some money. The family was giving money, right?
I think so.
Because I
That and
remember
then
that. I remember that.
and then the March 100 was like,
They were suspended, what, a year or 2 years?
think what was it, like 2 years?
Yeah, I think it was. Because I remember going to that Atlanta Classic and they weren't there because they played Southern
Mm-hmm.
and they weren't there.
So yeah, when you think about it, man, like it, yeah, Dre just said the band members did get locked up.
Oh, they did get locked up? Because I
Mm-hmm.
know now that was a civil case, right? Wasn't it the parents filed a suit against FAM?
Yeah,
Yeah, and they won, right?
yeah, they did win that one.
Yeah, I kind of remember some of it.
Yeah, went to jail, band got shut down. Another incident I can remember was the young man who was pledging alpha at SMU some years back, where he drunk some jugs of water and he basically drowned himself.
Hmm.
And for folks that don't understand, when you just because you drinking water, you're not supposed to drink more. You're not supposed to drink more than your body weight.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
drank way more than what he had in his system, and it shut his organs down. He drowned drinking gallons of water.
Was that a form of poisoning?
You can kind of say it was a form of poisoning.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Appreciate you, Dre. Yeah, so found former band member Dante Martin guilty of manslaughter and felony hazing after just an hour of deliberations, charges that could carry a sentence of more than 20 years in prison.
Oh, that was a FAMU, right?
That was a FAMU.
That was FAMU. So it was just one. It was just one found guilty.
I guess it's just the one that was found guilty.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, when you think about it, man, I don't understand why kids nowadays don't understand. You gotta understand what was your understand the consequences.
Yeah.
And especially now when you got a governor that is hell bent on sending young black men down to that farm in Angola.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This is not to spite Sutter. This is not anything. The main thing we trying to do is we want, if our kids want to pledge in a fraternity or sorority, we want them to go through the right process. I don't care about that extra stuff. Yeah, not even. Yeah, I forgot the white fraternity sororities. They be going bad too. It happens everywhere.
Yeah. That's what I said. The guy that I remember in the '80s, it was a white college student. I want to say he was at Cornell or somewhere, and he
They
died
had it.
during the hazing. And I thought they passed a federal bill. I thought it was a federal bill.
Was it a white fraternity where the guy died from them laying in the street or something?
You got me.
I think they copied this. They copied the scene in a movie, or maybe they copied off the movie. But I do remember the incident with some people laid in the street.
That's something that I need to. Something I need to check out right there.
Yeah, that's
We
what I was
just,
trying to
you
check
know, we
out
done
too.
had, you know, we done had a lot of instances where we got a lot of students, don't matter if you black, white, male, female, that are losing their life because somebody couldn't let go of what happened to them years prior to them, and so whatever.
Oh yeah,
Because
without a
at
doubt.
the end, of the day, it's blue right there. The frat just killed that kid at Penn State too. A few years. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember the one at Penn State. I remember that too.
Because at the end of the day, when you open up that pledge manual, whatever you call it, that ritual, that book, whatever you want to call it, down at the end of, down at the bottom of the sentence, or maybe at the top, it will tell you that we are a non-hazing organization. And I know it's some, I know it's some chapters out there that, you know, there's some chapters out there, and all, you know, D9 orgs, and even with myself with the white orgs and stuff like that, where they follow the letter of the law, they follow the book. You know, like, this is a non-hazing organization. We're not gonna mess with you. We're not gonna do nothing to you. I tell people this: the year that the semester and year that I pledged, we were taken to the middle of the woods and outside of Nacogdoches, probably like 15 miles outside of Nacogdoches. And I was at Stephen F. Foster. And we were to come up with some form of song and dance. And it's basically, they were saying that this is supposed to promote some sort of, I guess you want to say, unity. You know what I'm saying? Some togetherness. How quick can you think on your feet? And if you did not get it done within at least 30 minutes, they were going to leave us in the woods and we would have to walk all the way back to campus. And I was already in my mid-20s. I was 25. Excuse my language. I told them, fuck you. We about to get this thing going. I'm not staying my black ass out here in the woods because I don't know what's around me. I don't know what's near me. I don't even have a flashlight. Why? You know what? I don't know what type of ritual this is, but it was a tradition. Sometimes traditions can die. You can
Yeah,
let traditions go.
Doc, I have a cousin. He's deceased now. You said Phi Beta Omega, right?
Alpha Phi Omega.
Alpha Phi Omega. That was my cousin. He was at Fort Valley State.
Okay.
That was in the 70s.
So
He was
that's
your frat brother.
Phi Zeta chapter.
Yeah, he was Fort Valley State. That was in the 70s.
Okay.
He's deceased now. Yeah. That was my
Okay.
first cousin.
Yeah. I remember it. I told them I'm not trying to be out here all night. Like I told them I got shit to do in the morning, like go to class. They thought I was playing. I'm like, nah, I got stuff to do in the morning. And if something happened to me, I told them this: if something happened to me, y'all gonna have to explain to a 3-year-old why her daddy ain't here no more. Cause I had a child already. So, you know, that was my thought process. I told them, put your hands on me. It's gonna be a war up in here. I literally told him, you put your hands on me, you do anything to me or anybody on my line, it's gonna be a war up in here. And I guess that's just the reason why I got my name. But at the same time, man, when you think about it, I done seen chapters get, like I said, I done seen chapters get kicked off the yard for the longest for minor incidents. When I was in Jackson, I've seen the Capitals get kicked off the yard for almost 12 years.
Guilty.
You know what I'm talking about.
Brother. See a couple of my brothers in the chat. Yo Yo to brother Daniels and of course brother Jay White. Uh, but I think the biggest thing that we have to look at is that in the D9 space is costing us a lot of money because these lawsuits. I sit on uh, an adjunct board in my province, and just on the capital side, man, we probably paid out within the last, I think, 10 to 15 years. We done paid out well over 30 million
Woo!
Mhm.
in lawsuits.
What?
Yeah. So uh, again, like I said, as a parent, as a just as a human being, we all know that we have, as Doc eloquently stated, traditions, but we just cannot, as a people, begin to continue, if you will. I apologize about that.
No, you good.
Continue, if you will, to lose innocent lives and be sued and stuff like that, and then have to make major payouts and things of that nature. So, you know, times have changed. I, back in the day, hell, the only thing I had was a damn pager. And I never forget 1911 911. That was it. So we just have to come together, and all the Greeks in the chat, and all the people in the chat. Let me give you a challenge, uh, especially to the Greeks. When you know of someone, guide them the right way, please. You know, because yesterday is not today. We're parents now. Um, we're family members. We're brothers. We're sisters. We're cousins. We're aunts. We're uncles. And again, the worst phone call that you want to receive is your niece, your nephew, your son, your daughter, your first cousin, your family reunion cousin, your childhood friend, baby,
Or even grandkid.
grandkids going to college to better themselves. And of course, we all have the same mantra. We want them to go to college to get the heck out of our house. So let's look at it from that standpoint. And like I said, being a member of the D9 myself and went through stuff to get it, let's just be mindful, of those things. And, you know, I hope this young man's life wasn't in vain. I think now this is the time that we need to hold our hands together and come together as one, whether you're Greek or non-Greek, to ensure that our lineages, meaning these young brothers and young sisters that are going to college, because we have to understand under this current. Now let's talk about the political side. You see how they're cutting stuff every other day, so some of these kids can't go to college, and we know who they're targeting. Let's be mindful of that. We know who they're targeting. So, going to college, and we have to look at it as a privilege. Now, is it an obtainable privilege? Yes, it is. But it's still a privilege. Not only for us to be college educated, but for our lineage, meaning our kids, our grandkids, our nieces, nephews. We want them to have the opportunity to obtain what we've had or what we've set out to do in our lives. And madness like this just cannot happen. It cannot happen. And again, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. But Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated is not a hazing organization, but I pledged in the 90s. So, with that being said, again, my condolences. You know, prayers for all his loved ones, and not only prayer for everybody loved ones in the chat. Because we don't know when our number will be called. But one thing about it is, I'm so empathetic with his father because no parent wants to bury their child before they go. I can't think of one. So let's just be mindful of these things, and like I understand, tradition is tradition. That was the way I was taught.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna say it like this.
it's a certain way, and just like I said, just be mindful, and whether you not Greek or not, just reach out to these young people and just let them know it's just two words that you can say: be safe.
Be cautious.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
So, Russell, Mr. Haynes, I could say this. I could tell this story right here, what I just told my story, because of the simple fact that I'm coming on 20 years in my fraternity next year. April 29th of next year, I will be 20 years old in my organization. I can tell that story because I am I have the mindset, like, my underclass years are gone. It's gone. It's gone. I'm not worried about what folks gonna say about that. I'm not worried about that. Now, here's another thing I don't like right here. When all of this came out, then you got the folks that were saying, why do I gotta pay this money? Why am I gonna pay this money to get my ass beat, to be friends with somebody, or to have connections? Well, I'm gonna say it for all the people and for those in the back. Maybe they want to do that, minus the physicality, but they want the connections. Yes, they can have friends and everything, but maybe that's not what you want. Maybe that's not what you envision yourself in. Do not belittle don't belittle these people. Don't belittle your peers for what they want to do, and they work their butts out to get into these organizations. And it's not like where you paying money to wear letters and stuff like that. No, it's not even that. Do you know how much community service that every organization does? I tell people, when I pledged, I had over 500 hours, 500 hours of service hours on top of what I did with the school, with the university too. I had 1,500 hours in a year and a half span, because I donated my time, and I committed my time to help out community and help out the university. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. But don't get over there and just try to bash these folks, man, because they want to do something that I'm gonna be honest with you. You too scared to do it. Don't judge nobody for and come up with these long ass diatribes on Twitter. Because I'm looking and coming out talking about I wouldn't do this if my dog was in the hospital. You know what? Maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's for the next person, but maybe it's just not for you at all.
And I agree, Doc. I just think that with the D9, what happens is that we're leaving out the total message. The message is that we were fighting oppression. Our founders were fighting oppression. They was fighting, non-civil beliefs. They were fighting civil rights. They was fighting, and they was educating themselves, to continue to fight. And I think our young people, need to go back to that to understand, what it's really about. And I think that's the biggest problem um, right now. And like I said again and again, I'm not saying that I have a clean slate because I don't, because that was the way I was taught.
Oh,
But
I know anybody that was playing in the 90s and the early 2000s, we sure ain't got no clean slate.
yeah, so, but, but, fast forward, but what I want everybody in the chat and around the world, even on these college campuses, to understand today, today, we have to think about today. I can't begin to imagine what's going on in that retired sheriff's, this guy was a community political figure and something like this happened. I can't even imagine, but I can say I understand. But, you know, we have to, not only through Greeks, but as a people, we have to look at what the oppressors have done. And even with this current administration, they're trying to bring oppression back. And we have to hold hands and fight together to overcome these things. Um, it's so sad. I thought about that little young brother all day, man. And, looking at his picture, had a very nice professional picture and all this stuff. So I just cannot imagine, what his parents are going through when they sent their kid to college to better himself. And he
You
was actually
know,
doing the job. It reminds me of the you know, young alpha uh, young man that got killed at Jackson State, and
yeah,
he was doing everything that he was supposed to do. Now he wasn't pledging anything like that, but
he was already online. I mean, he
but
was
he,
already in the organization.
yeah, but he was, class president. He was this, he was that. You don't send your kids to college for them not to return, and I guess that's just that's my point. Um, and but again, I'm not a hypocrite. I understand the tradition. I've upheld the tradition,
Mm-hmm.
received the traditions, if you will. But I just think the biggest thing is we just have to go back to how these organizations were founded and what they were founded for. And they weren't founded for somebody to get killed. And because I remember, I mean, I could take it all the way back to high school when I was in the band, and big brother Ed the EO was my nemesis. He was 2 grades above me. Man, I used to be so scared of that dude, man. Come on the band field, him and Crick Jones and all. Man, it was, but But nah, I'm just teasing. But you know, it's just one of those things that we have to understand. I mean, because colleges are already expensive as heck. And then another thing is half you people in the chat, y'all realize that y'all kids can't get financial aid because you make too much money. So think about it that way too.
Mm-hmm.
That you have to come out the pocket to pay for your kid to go to college, and this happens. So just think about that. So, like I said, I love you guys. Um, I'm a member of the D9, faithful member of the D9. But right now, I'm in shock. I'm in awe. Uh, I'm embarrassed because, again, I'm an adjunct executive board member in my province, and looking at all these things that have happened, you know, um, it's cost us a lot of money, and it's caused people a lot of pain and suffering and things of that nature. So, of course, we take full accountability of that. Um, but during these times, it just has to end. We understand the traditions, man, but that young brother had a bright future ahead of him, and
Yeah.
it's kind of sad, that he won't be able to, as the D9 say, see it through. So where my heart is at right now. My heart is running full. It's running deep right now. I probably cried about 2 hours today because it's just stuff like that. It can't happen because it's not designed for that. It's designed to, the D9 that I know. We always took pride in making you a better person, and I believe it.
Hey, Mr. Ford, y'all remember this saying?
Uh-huh.
Y'all remember this saying? Uh, you want to live, you get out of whatever situation that you're in.
Uh-huh.
You ain't gonna live past 18, 19, 20. You know, man, they ain't live past 21. They didn't even get to 21 yet.
Oh yeah. 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 That's like I said, it's tragic, man. This is a brother that could have helped a lot of people, man. You said he was engineering, he was a
Mechanical
band guy.
engineer. Yep.
Yeah,
Mechanical
this
engineering
guy could
and
have
a
helped.
band.
This is what they used to call that. He was a part of the intelligentsia, man. This guy here was supposed to lead a lot of people. He was supposed to help a lot of. He was like a what you call a bright light for a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people in darkness, man. That guy, listen, man, that's a tragic loss. This was a promising young man.
Yeah. Hopefully that the investigation is swift and unjust. Hopefully, whatever they find out, his parents can uh, follow within the full extent of the law.
Oh yeah, well, I don't doubt that. I think that's gonna happen. Like you said, that'll happen swiftly. That's gonna happen. I just, like you said, it's just a senseless loss, man. This is these are the kinds of kids that we pray for, man, and want them to do, for leadership, because that's one thing we're looking for. We need leaders, man.
Mm-hmm. And just like we said, I don't want to be able to bury my children first. I want them to put me in that pine box, whatever I got with me, and say that my daddy was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And put me in the ground right next to my father.
Yeah.
And that's just how I see it right there. Um, but other than that, I don't want to spend too much time on it, man. I think this was a great discussion to have, and I know a lot of people are going to have more discussions about this. We got SWAC basketball tomorrow. We are heading to the home stretch.
Oh yeah.
Conference tournament starts next week, to be exact. In the week and a half.
What is it on the 14th? What's the date?
Start on the 11th. It started on the 11th.
That's next week? Or 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks.
Two weeks, yeah. That SWAC tournament is going to be outstanding. Let me ask you this, Doc. We had this conversation at my school today. It was 4 of us. We were all SWACers. We all graduated from SWAC schools.
Mm-hmm.
And the question was, who would you take if you had your choice? Would you take Shedeur Sanders, or would you take
Cam Ward?
Cam Ward? It was 4 of us, and it came out 3-1. Now, what you got on that?
Well, they both got similar. They both had similar paths to where they got. To where they got. It's just that Cam started a year. I think he started a year earlier. Incarnate Word. In fact, I think he redshirted in Incarnate Word. So he played 2 years at Incarnate Word. He transferred. He played 2 years at Washington State.
Yeah.
Again, he transferred again. And he played that 1 year at Miami. He was the man at Miami for almost.
I thought he was the best quarterback in the country.
We all know what 2 did. Started at Jackson and ended in Colorado. So I think if you're gonna start your team off with a quarterback, I'm gonna go with Cam. And this is not a slight. This is not a slight to Shedeur, because we all seen what he did when he was in the SWAC. But I think it's that one little small hiccup when they first got to Colorado, and they didn't, they was mediocre at best when they was at Colorado that first year. But he has a stellar career, and Cam just was on another. I think he was on another level. I think he was just more hungry on a whole nother level.
Yeah. Who got the first pick in the draft?
Giants I think the Giants got the first pick in the draft.
Okay, the Giants got the first pick.
No, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, Tennessee got the first one. Because I'm just saying, man, they pass over that guy, man. They're going to regret it, man. Cam Ward is the best kid. He's the best quarterback, man. Now, the Giants right now, to me, is a big mess. I don't understand what's going on up there. I really don't understand the Tennessee coach either. I don't know what's going on with the Titans.
I don't think the Giants are going to draft a black quarterback. They're notorious for not picking a black quarterback. Not even in free agency. I think they did it one time, and it was with Anthony Wright, and that was it. And did
Tyrod Taylor play for them?
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor did play for them.
Okay.
He did play, but they don't do well. They don't do good with black quarterbacks. They always want to go with the, somebody that's gonna. Since Eli retired, they want somebody to be more like Eli. Geno Smith, but he's a backup.
I'm gonna say this right here. That Cam Ward, he gonna turn the league out, man. Shout out to Blue, because that's how I first heard about him. He was at Incarnate Word. But the first time I really sit down, I came home one day from school, and Washington State was hosting Colorado in Pullman.
Mm-hmm.
Doc, that man, listen. When I saw him do, I said then he this Heisman Trophy right here. Listen, he scored 6 or 7 touchdowns in the first half. This should have been the season of 23. Can you pull that game? Can you pull them stats up? It was Colorado versus Washington State 2023.
Last year,
Not last year, wasn't 24
2 years,
now. It was
2 years
20.
ago.
It was Shadua's first year at Colorado because Shadua got hurt in the game. That Cam Ward young man put on a show, man.
Let me see.
The thing is, y'all better hope that he doesn't slip to number 6. Because if Shadua slipped to number 6, he gonna get a gold jacket.
Okay, who would get him at number 6?
The Raiders. You know who was a minority owner of the Raiders?
Yes, Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. If I had to go between Shadua and Cam, give me Cam. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Here's some stuff Cam Ward got. Shadua don't have it. And I'm a Shadua fan now. But there's some stuff that Cam Ward kid got, man. That boy's special, man.
Shadua is just a traditional pocket passer that can run.
Right.
But Cam Ward is a dual threat.
Yeah, he can do it. Listen, the only reason he didn't get that Heisman, that defense fell apart down there in Coral Gables this year. That's why they fired Guidry. But he should have won the Heisman this year, man.
Well, Mr. Ward, Uncle Ward, look at Uncle Ford. Look, the only reason why that man didn't win the Heisman is because of 2 names, Travis Hunter. We will never see another athlete like that can play both sides of the ball and can play the whole game without getting tired. That's phenomenal, man. Regardless of what he played for Jackson State, Colorado, he could have played for Hines Community College. I ain't never seen that. And you know I'm a former referee. I ain't never seen nothing like that. Not in college. And the crazy part about Travis is that when you look at him, he's not even winded. He ready for some more. You like, wait a minute, ain't you tired?
You're right. Here you go. Here the stats right here.
That's from that Colorado. Was it Colorado Washington State?
Mm-hmm.
Read them stats for a minute for that man.
Coach Prime don't believe in a running game. When he had a running game, he was dominant.
So the score was 56-14. Cam threw. He was 18-30 for 288, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
That's all.
But that was all he had. But most of it was done rushing the ball and defense.
Okay, how many touchdowns he threw for what?
So that year he threw.
I'm saying in that game.
2 touchdowns. He only threw 2 touchdowns in that game.
In the 56 game?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I thought he threw. Okay, so and you say threw. Okay, what was his passer percentage that game?
He was 18 for 30, so he was he got to be about close to 60%.
Because he put on a show. I'll never forget. The game was on a Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember I came in, I said, "Ooh, Colorado and Washington State, I got to see that." He put on a show that first half.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, I think both of the young men and students of the game. I ain't gonna say Shador ain't just a student of the game, but the thing about this is, and we always gonna say it like this: y'all don't beat me down. Is can Shador get it done without having his father being in some capacity a coach to him?
If he goes to the Raiders, you don't even worry about it, because if that young man goes to the Raiders,
that's Pete Carroll. That's a plus. You're right. He would be under Pete Carroll, them, right?
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that would be a plus. It would be a plus for him to be out there.
He's gonna have the best coaching, although it's old school, but he's gonna have the nuances of Brady being on him teaching him about the game. So I mean, really,
Chip Kelly would be his offensive coordinator.
those two guys, Cam Ward and Shador, and I'm also looking at another QB that ain't nobody talking about, and I've seen him just destroy people because he's been with a guy that knows how to coach the quarterback, and you better watch out for that Jackson Dart too.
Oh
From
yeah,
Ole Miss.
yeah. That's
From
a
Ole
kid
Miss.
from Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
with
a good
Lane Kiffin now.
yeah, he's a good
Yeah,
one.
he can play. I've seen
And
him.
you have to understand, you don't have too many guys that are quarterback whisperers, and Hugh Freeze is one, Lane Kiffin is one. What's the coach from USC? What's the
Lincoln
coach?
Riley.
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley is the whisperer. Those guys are, they offensive geniuses. So anybody that starts for them and anybody that plays quarterback for them, they normally going to turn out to be okay.
So
Yeah,
my whole
everything that Lane Kiffin does is NFL. That's what he grew up on.
That's right.
Everything he does is NFL.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about it is he got that young man. He got that young man coming in from excuse me. He got the young guy to transfer in from USC.
What's his name?
Arnold.
Oh, okay.
Jackson Arnold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he going on this. Yeah, he going on this. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, like I said, when Lane Kiffin's, my thing with him is he modernized Nick Saban's offenses down there at Alabama. I mean,
that offense they had that year. Look here, Uncle Ford. That offense they had that year when they won the national championship, you couldn't stop that Alabama offense that year.
Yeah,
you could not. And like I tell people, although Sarkisian won, with Alabama as well, but offense to offense, that offense that Lane Kiffin ran at Ole Miss, at Alabama, my Lord, it'll be 42 at the half.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
it was crazy,
Yeah,
So
like I said, he might be the premier offensive mind in the Power Four. It might be him.
Yeah.
And by the way, y'all, what's the name? Just walk down the Celtics. I see right now, if the Cavaliers and the Celtics meet up in the playoff, the Celtics gonna have a problem in their front court. The Celtics was beating them by over 20 points, and they came back and beat them. But it was because of that front line of the Cleveland Cavaliers. That front line, that Mobley and what's that kid's name from Texas? Is his name Allen?
Jared Allen.
Yeah, man. Them boys led the game tonight. But I still say that Boston needs a trade up front. They need a big. They still missing a big guy up front. I don't know where. Is it the center or the power forward? But they missing a big guy up front.
Well, the only thing is they can't get Porzingis to play the 5. He is a stretch 4.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's a stretch 4. He shoot the jumper. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But that game, I had it turned down. It just came to an end. They walked them down tonight, and that game was in Boston, right?
Yep. Donovan Mitchell had 41 tonight.
That's what I'm saying. They walked them down tonight.
That's the thing, though, Uncle Ford and Doc. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. It's that man. Nobody from the Celtics can stop him, but he can stop them, though.
Well,
that young man there, man. I don't know. I don't understand why he don't have one of them $500 million contracts. I don't understand. Donovan Mitchell is a baller.
Yes, he is.
Tatum just got.
I saw him at Louisville with Rick Pitino. And Tatum, by the way, I never could stand Rick Pitino, but now we got to give him his credit. He has brought St. John's back. I've been watching them. He's brought St. John's back. If they had real outside shooting, St. John might win it all.
Oh, we
But
talking
they don't
about.
they
Oh, we
don't have
talking
no
about
Right
chief
now,
just
justice
for.
league.
Hold on, hold
St.
on, hold on.
John has brought New York back.
Yeah,
They say
as a college, you're
those
right. Because
games,
I've been watching them in Madison Square Garden.
those games are being sold out again because you
Yeah,
got to
that's
remember
right.
it's going back to the old school St. John's with Chris Mullen and all them
Yeah,
guys.
Arthur Berry, Luke on
Mhm,
the second. Oh yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
Oh,
They,
I'm about to say that Jason Tatum tonight almost had a triple double. Had 46, 16 rebounds, and 9 assists, and then Jaylen Brown had 37, 5, and 2.
whoa.
The only other person that was in double figures tonight was Derek White. He had 16.
The Olympian, yeah, the
Yeah,
Olympian. But see, the only thing with Cleveland, they so spread out. You know, you have guys coming off the bench that can score you 10, 15. See,
yeah,
all that stuff
yeah.
adds up. It adds up, and it adds up quick.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I
Let's
still see,
see.
like I said, that Mobley and that Allen, they're going if they get in the playoffs with the Celtics gonna have problems with them. Because I saw that tonight. They're gonna have problems with
Well,
them
it's
guys.
gonna come down. It's gonna come down. I mean, the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, it's locked in. It's locked, cock and barrel. I mean, you're gonna have the Cavs versus Boston.
It might go to the Cavs.
But
Well,
that West is something I just can't figure out. What do you guys think about this? Because, like I said, whoever that Dallas Mavericks GM is, he's probably the dumbest GM I've ever seen in my life.
But I
Ain't
still say
no,
that had to be the ownership. You know that. Listen, we talking about a white superstar in Dallas, Texas. The owner had to go along with that.
I don't think the
They ain't
owner
let
even went
no.
along.
What's that guy
I
named?
really
Nico Harrison. What's his name?
Nico Harrison.
Yeah,
You
they
know
ain't
what
let
though?
him make no decision like that. That had to be ownership.
I really on the real. I'm be honest with you. I promise to God, and I talked to a lot of people the last couple of weeks since the trade had went down. I don't think the ownership had anything to do with this either. This is between Nico Harrison for the Mavericks and Rob Pelinka
but
for
see,
the
there's
Lakers.
no way that I would give up a Mount Rushmore type of talent. I don't care if he fat. I don't care if he out of shape. I don't care if he does hookah and have wine. That is Luka Doncic, man. This
Yeah.
dude actually went to the Western Conference Final by himself because you got to think that the only reason why they didn't win is because the person that I love, he was just off that series. Kyrie was off. If Kyrie was on, Luca was actually playing the Celtics by himself
Yeah.
and was dominating.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, we won't know until next season how the trade is gonna gonna pan out.
Well, one
Um,
thing y'all need to tell that Davis boy when he get to Dallas, stop being so soft. He is too soft.
oh, the game that he played when he came to Dallas, he wasn't soft because he had a double in that game. He had
But he ain't
31 and
played
37.
since. Has he played
But ain't
since?
he hurt already? He hurt, ain't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He
Yeah,
just
he
so.
was hurt, but yeah, he had an adductor strain. So
So when is he coming back? When is he
he's
coming
coming
back?
he's coming back. I think he should be back next week.
Good.
He
Because
should be
I'm
back
telling you,
next
man,
week
all that soft stuff got to go.
we're
They
in the
just
stretch.
showed
We're
it.
in the stretch
They
run
just
for the
showed us
playoffs.
that they just showed a stat live on ESPN since Luka Doncic's been with the Lakers. He's averaged 24, 12, and 12.
Triple doubles?
Yeah, but he only played what 3 games
Yes,
though, right?
24, 12, and 12.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he only played 3 games though. So, like I said, we won't know
but
how this
that's
trade, who won the trade
just crazy.
until next season. But I like some of the pieces that we got. I like the Max Christie dude that came over. He is a 3-and-D, can shoot Mid range, he could shoot the 3-point shot. He could rebound. The only issue that we have is we don't have none of our bigs. We just got Dwight Powell back like this past
The
week.
biggest thing is, nephew, I'm gonna be honest with you.
What was that?
You got a Mount Rushmore player, but he's just him and Embiid. They some of the greatest players that NBA ever produced. Anthony Davis and Embiid, but they just not. They just can't stay healthy.
But here's the thing: he can't stay healthy. But here's the thing, though: Anthony Davis, at least he can actually stay healthy and play games. He don't skip games or nothing like that. You see Joel Embiid skipping games because he knew that he was not healthy. He should have gotten surgery done during the summertime, right before the summer. You knew that you wasn't healthy. And then you're gonna play in the Olympics. I understand. So you want the gold medal, but at the same time, you should have gotten yourself healthy. Now, guess what?
I'm gonna say this.
He done ride the 76ers of all that money, and he ain't playing for the rest of the season.
That's what I was about to say. I'm surprised Philly hadn't traded him. Because see in the back, like y'all talking about the old day, Philly was very impatient, and they would get rid of superstars. Because you got to remember now, Philly got rid of Wilt Chamberlain. Mm-hmm. And Embiid, you know, I'm surprised he's still in Philadelphia. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I am too.
Because usually Philadelphia is a hard place to play, man. If you don't produce, you got to go. You got to go. You can't stay in the city of brotherly love and play like that.
School of hard knocks.
Yeah. I'm trying to see.
Whatever happened to that? Remember the kid that went to Philly was from Duke, Okafor or something? What was his name?
Jaleel
Okafor. What was his name?
Jaleel Okafor.
Okay, whatever happened to him? They got him out of Philly, didn't they?
Yeah.
How long did he stay in Philly?
He was there for the extent of his rookie contract.
Okafor went to UConn.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the kid that was from Chicago that went to Duke, and then remember they stole his car up there in Philadelphia?
Yeah, Jaleel Okafor.
Yeah, how long was he in Philly?
He was on there for the extent of his rookie contract, 4 years.
Okay. Yeah. Because they got rid of him so quick, it wasn't even funny.
And then he had the knee surgery and stuff.
So he's been out of the league a while, right?
Yeah, but I think he had came back not too long ago. He came back a couple weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken.
What organization?
I forgot what team it was, but I know he came back to the NBA.
Hey, Mr. Ford.
Huh?
You were talking about St. John's. That's something I was watching them the other night, watching St. John's and Butler.
Yeah, I've been watching them. I have too. Yeah. I've been watching. Like I said, now, if he had a jump shooting team with that defense they play and the way they slice up the floor, listen, they win the national championship. But they jump shooting for St. John's is subpar. I wouldn't say it's average. I would say it's below average. If they take 5 threes, they might hit 1 or 2.
I got a chance to listen to the pregame show. I love the varsity app of watching left field, in the institutions around the country. You listen to their radio broadcasts. And I listened to John Miko, the radio announcer for St. John's. He was talking to Rick Pitino before the UConn game. Rick Pitino, he speaks like a New Yorker.
He's from Manhattan.
I thought he was from Brooklyn.
Yeah, he's from
He's from Manhattan or somewhere.
Yeah, he's from up there, and he started saying he said complaining.
He's from Brooklyn.
He's from Brooklyn. Okay.
He said complaining. He said guys complaining about injuries. He speaks like an old school coach. He says complaining of injuries. He says that's a sign of weakness. He speaks like a New Yorker.
Yeah. Now let me just say this about Rick.
Pat Riley.
I think he's doing his best. Now I couldn't stand him at Louisville because see, when I was growing up, Louisville was Denny Crum, and we loved Denny Crum. And then he took that program. I couldn't stand him Because the one thing I never liked about Rick, he used to lose his composure because he'd be fussing and going on. But he's over all that now. To me, this might be his best coaching job ever. Is this St. John's job he's doing now?
Yeah,
He's
back in
doing
New
a
York.
job, man.
Yeah.
Do you think his best coaching job was when he was at Providence?
You know
That's
what
when I
you got
first
to
saw him in
listen,
Providence.
Doc, you got to
He
argue
had Billy
that.
Donovan.
Yeah, I remember him and Billy Donovan now. I remember
Billy
them.
Donovan called to screen.
Yeah, I remember. Because
Yeah.
let me tell you why I remember them. They put my
87
Georgetown
Final Four.
Warriors out the Final Four one year.
Yeah.
Or the Final
87
Eight. They
Final
put us
Four.
out the Final Eight.
The Elite Eight.
think
I
it
remember
was.
that, Uncle Ford, boy, because Georgetown,
Yeah.
man. When y'all had Coach Thompson, man. I mean, I'm sorry, that guy there, man. Because I remember a great friend of mine. He was 2 years ahead of me. He was friends with Ed them. Othello, when he got him to
Yeah,
come to
Othello
Yellow
Georgetown,
Harrington. Yeah, from Jackson,
man,
Mississippi.
look at him.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
look at
Merrill
him, man.
High School.
Oh, yeah.
Man, look at him,
Yeah.
man.
I was in high school then when
Well,
We
let me
used
tell you,
to,
they're not
we used
going
to watch
to say
High
it
School.
because
Man,
it can't be said. They want you to believe that Duke owned the 80s, Georgetown owned the 80s. Georgetown
I saw
was
that
the
time.
center of college basketball during the 80s. But they going to say it was Duke, but it was Georgetown.
I thought it was, but if that's the case, I thought it would have been like in the 80s, other than Georgetown. I thought it would have been Houston.
Houston couldn't win a national championship.
Yeah, they couldn't win the national championship, but I
Yeah.
thought it was U of H because they
Well,
had, they
I
had
mean,
part
now
of
they had, listen, they had some years.
after five slammer
Yeah, Darren
jammer,
Lewis had a squad.
they kind of dropped. But
They
see,
did. That's what I was about to say too. After the, yeah.
Georgetown. I
But
mean,
Georgetown owned the 80s,
I'm a
man.
North
You go
Carolina
back and look at
fan
it.
and a Michigan fan. But the two teams that you had to worry about every year out that Big East was Syracuse and Georgetown.
Syracuse and Georgetown. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, see,
That was it.
actually, Georgetown owned the Big East when it came in existence. The guy who took the Big East from Georgetown was named Jim Calhoun up in Connecticut. That's who took the Big East from Georgetown.
That 89-90 season. Yeah,
Yeah, that guy's name was Jim Calhoun. He came from Northeastern, I think.
Northeastern. Coach Reggie Lewis at Northeastern.
Yeah. His name was Jim Calhoun. Jim won several national championships at UConn.
Yeah. His first one was in 1999.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's who took the Big East from Georgetown.
Rip Hamilton was on that team.
That was the first one?
Rip Hamilton. Yeah, that was the first one. That was our first national championship. Yeah.
But when you think about it, man,
I mean, but you got to think that's when he started recruiting players like Kerry Kittles, Rip Hamilton, all those guys.
Kerry Kittles was Villanova.
Kerry was New Orleans. He was out of New Orleans.
Kerry Kittles back in the day.
He went to Villanova.
Yeah, he went to Villanova. That's right. Kerry was from New Orleans.
For the state championship at St. Augustine.
Went to New Jersey.
Went to UConn.
Who was that?
He went to Villanova.
Kittles went to Villanova.
Yeah, Kittles went to Villanova. Yeah, he came out of New Orleans. He used to wear them knee pads.
I think it was Kittles, it was Alvin Williams, it was
they had a guy from Southern Lab that played at UConn 13.
Yeah, it was some players from that Villanova
Eric
team
Hayward
where
of Peabody went to
came off of.
UConn.
They played in the NBA. The UConn team, what you talking about? That was Danielle Marshall.
Yeah, I remember Danielle. Yeah.
I remember him too.
Ray
Allen. Now who had God Shamgar?
Yeah, Ray Allen. I came out of high school.
Who had God Shamgar?
Providence had God.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a player development coach with the Mavericks now.
God Shamgar from Providence. I remember him.
So like, you see the shift though. It went from the Big East, because remember the Big East was dominant in the 80s and the early 90s. Then it took its talents down to the ACC.
Yeah, the ACC.
And then for a minute, you go to the Big 12.
Yeah, that guy Bill Self was dominant for a while.
Before Bill Self got there, because remember Roy Williams was
Ron Williams was. Yeah, he was. Ron Williams
came out Larry Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Larry
Yeah,
was in the
the
80s
only
because
the,
Larry
the
came
only the
from,
only thing is
Danny
because I'm a
Manning,
wait a
North
minute.
Carolina
Larry
fan,
either
man. We
came from
got to get
San
rid of
Antonio
Hubert.
because Larry went to the San Antonio Spurs for a
San
while.
Antonio Spurs. Sure did.
hmm
Yeah.
I remember that.
uh,
They
Yeah, but
and
we
Robinson.
got to get
then
rid of. I know
Mhm.
that's a black man. I know it, but I'm a North Carolina fan.
Oh, he got to
What,
go.
UNC,
Hubert Davis?
He's awful, man. You talking about
UNC
Hubert
stands
Davis?
for
He just,
they got
University of
he
National
just signed an extension.
Championships.
He
Yeah,
just signed an extension.
oh,
I wonder,
we'll buy him out. We'll buy him out.
I
North
wonder how
Carolina
they
got
would do
that.
with a general
North
manager.
Carolina, they got that big money, man. They'll buy that out because Hubert
Yeah,
Davis
but
got to
see,
go.
he's got Roy Williams in his corner. Matter of fact, Roy's the one that picked him. And
And
they are sick and tired of him. But Roy Williams is the godfather up there right now. He's the
and
godfather in North Carolina.
let's go. Let me. So we could go talk to the Big Ten because for a minute, Bill Self, when he was at Illinois, ran the Big Ten. You had Gene Keeley with Purdue. You had
Yeah, Bill
Don't
Self
forget
at Illinois.
Izzo. Don't forget
Tom,
Izzo at Michigan
Yeah,
State.
Tom
Tom
Izzo at
Izzo,
Michigan
man.
State.
That's what
Izzo.
I was about to say. Tom Izzo ran there.
Tom Izzo is still the godfather.
He's
He's the
still there.
godfather of the Big Ten right
And
now in
also
basketball.
my former coach too. Now we got to
Steve
give
Fisher.
shots out to Lord. I forgot his name when he built the Michigan teams back in
Oh,
the
Steve
day.
Fisher. Steve Fisher.
Fisher. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now
Yes,
y'all don't
sir.
forgot that guy that was at Wisconsin. Last name was Ryan.
Oh,
That
Bo
dude was a
Ryan.
great
Bo
coach.
Ryan.
Now,
Bo
Bo Ryan.
Ryan, yeah,
Yeah.
he was a great coach.
He is a great coach. We had then we
And you got to
before
give shots out. I know people don't like him, but Bobby Knight.
Bobby Knight.
Oh yeah,
Bobby
yeah.
Bobby Knight was a monster at
He
Indiana.
was.
He was.
Yeah, the
Yes, he
general.
was.
And,
Yeah, the
and
general.
let's move over to the West because in the
I never had a
Pac-12
problem with
you had your teams with UCLA, you had your Cal. Now I've seen when I grew up, I watched Cal when Jason Kidd was there.
That was Bozeman. Todd
Yeah,
Bozeman.
Todd Bozeman. Yeah,
Jason
coach at
Kidd
Morgan
was one of
State.
the greatest college players I'd ever seen.
Jason Kidd and dang
And Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez.
Tony
Tony G.
Gonzalez. Yeah, he played on the basketball
And
team,
then
Cal.
the UCLA Bruins when
Yeah, tight end.
they had the O'Bannon brothers, Toby
That's
Bailey. Then you
that
can
guy's
move
coach's name was Jimmy Harris.
Jim Herrick.
Jim Harris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he was one of the two best players
Jelani
I've seen
McCoy.
besides the guy from Bradley. What was his name from Bradley? The scorer.
Percy
Was it
Hawkins.
Brad?
Percy Hawkins.
Percy Hawkins. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Well,
then
now
when
them
you
O'Banion brothers you talking about, that's why these kids are getting paid now. They the ones
That's the reason why.
filed that initial lawsuit.
I
yeah,
came
That's
out of
where
high school same
NIL
year as
come from. That's
Charles.
the O'Banion brothers.
I came out same year as Charles in 1993 from high school. I remember my dad tried to All-American.
and then you got the Gonzagas of the world that's coming into play because
Oh yeah.
they done took the West Coast. Really, I think the West Coast is taken by Gonzaga because they don't rule the West Coast to me in
But they've
college
never won it,
basketball.
right? Have they
Never
ever
won
won
it.
the
Never won it.
NCAA tournament?
Never won it.
They've been twice to the national
They
championship,
went
but
to
never
the
won it.
national championship game. The last time they played
Lost
in
to
that
North
championship
Carolina and then
game,
lost to Baylor.
Baylor.
Yeah.
Baylor still drug.
You remember Adam Morrison?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember.
He was Australian, I think. He was from Australia.
Yeah, he's from one of those.
No, he wasn't Australian.
He wasn't Australian?
He's from
The greatest, one of the greatest college players of all time, but was a bust in the league.
In the NBA.
It pissed me off when Jordan drafted him. I was like, Lord, how much?
What was his name?
Adam Morrison.
Adam Morris.
Adam Morris.
Yeah. Wasn't he Australian? What was he?
He from the United States. He from the Pacific Northwest.
When
was a
Jordan
bust.
drafted two players, because I'm an eternal Jordan fan, can't nobody tell me nothing about the Bulls, and they talk about these Golden State Warriors would have beat us. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. But all I'm saying is it was two draft picks that he got. It was Adam Morris and it was Kwame Brown, and I was like, Lord.
Wait a minute. I thought Kwame was up in Washington.
He was when Jordan was.
When Jordan owned the team.
Yeah, on the team at first.
Wait a minute. Because Kwame, he didn't go to Washington Bullets or Wizards.
Yeah, he went to the Wizards.
He went to the Wizards. But see, Jordan at the time was the GM, and then he bought, and then a year later, after they drafted Kwame Brown, that's
He
when they
came
got
out.
Harris. Yeah, he became an owner. Yeah,
No,
Yeah,
he
but I
came
just
out of
watched a
retirement.
documentary about that, and they were saying at the time a lot of people were high on Kwame. It wasn't
Yeah, he
until
came out of high school. He's from Brunswick, Georgia.
when the things didn't work out, they kind of looked at it
They
like
said Okafor. I didn't know
he wasn't making a bad decision. But at the time, they thought he was making a good one.
Well,
I know
yeah,
he's
but see,
making a
I'm
lot of
old
money on
school,
that
man.
YouTube. He got a
Yeah,
big
yes, he
following,
is.
boy.
Yes, he is, and
that
I'm so proud of him because he's real and he tells it like it is. I'm so
Yeah,
proud of him.
he's making a lot of
now
money on
y'all
that
know
YouTube,
who.
boy.
Now y'all want to know who ruled basketball, college basketball now? It's the SEC.
Man,
You
the
got
SEC.
They
I
they become
was
a
you got eight.
ACC
You
is
got
falling off.
eight
brother.
teams.
I, I was telling brother Carey,
Yeah,
brother
SEC is
Carey,
becoming.
it's going to be, and you can clip this. It's going to be 11 teams out of that SEC that makes the tournament. Whether they be at large, man, the SEC is tough, man. Because what
Yeah, they tough.
every night you don't know. I mean, we thought that Auburn and Alabama were the top two teams. They end up getting beat. We thought that Tennessee. Recall, if you go to the early part of the season, Tennessee was the number one team. They
Don't
got
sleep
beat.
on Missouri.
Man, you got Missouri, you got Texas A&M, you
United
got
States.
Texas,
Tennessee, you got Auburn, you got Alabama, you got Ole Miss, you got Mississippi State, you
Mississippi
got
State had a good year though.
you got Florida,
Florida.
you
Florida.
still
and
got
Florida got
Coach
beat by
Kentucky.
Clayton.
Georgia the other
Having a
night.
great year.
That's what I'm saying. You got Florida, you got Arkansas. I mean, you
Still got
Arkansas is a
got
weak
still
teams.
team.
got
They've yet to
Kentucky.
watch them.
You still got Kentucky. That's what I'm saying. So I'm looking for them to have no less than 10 teams come out that SEC because the way it's built right now, and these kids are, they're going because we all know, and let's not be fools, we know where the big NIL money is at, and that's in the
Yeah,
SEC with our
that's what
And
it's
the
sport.
all
Big
about.
Ten. The Big Ten got NIL money too.
Oh yeah, I mean you got
Yeah,
Michigan and
yeah,
Ohio
that's what
State.
I'm
I
saying.
mean they
And
just
at the same time, we're seeing the ACC come down to two teams right now. That's Duke and Clemson. The rest of them teams are
Clemson.
irrelevant
Clemson. Hey,
yeah.
Hey,
Clemson's tough.
because the
Brownlow.
ACC is pathetic right now in
Brad
basketball,
Brownlow
No,
has
they
a
and that's
pathetic.
supposed to be a
squad
They
that's
basketball
pathetic.
close.
conference.
They
I'm
pathetic.
gonna tell you like this. Don't sleep on my Memphis Tigers though.
Oh, Memphis. Oh, Penny
But
Hardaway.
see, that's the thing. But see, I'm in Memphis, and my frat brother, he's built that team the right way. And the thing about it is
Gotta get
that
them on some Larry Finch stuff.
yeah, but you got to think, Memphis has that FedEx backing. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm going with that. I mean,
Mhm.
because Memphis, they talking about this Cooper Flag guy, but the best player that I've seen in college basketball, period, this year is that guard from Memphis. What is it? Satterfield? What's his name?
Let me see.
Satterfield?
It's one of them names.
Uncle
'Cause
Ford.
Huh?
I know they play
You
on
better
Sundays.
pull
But
up.
I've missed their games.
You
Listen,
better pull
you
up.
know what? I'm
Pull up.
have to
Pull
disagree
up.
with you now. I think the most complete player in college basketball is that kid at Auburn, that
Oh, you talking about
Broom or whatever
Johnny
his name.
Broom?
Yeah,
Janai
I
man.
Broom?
like him too, but
Janai
what I'm
Broom?
That kid
saying
can play
is,
both forwards and can play in the middle.
but you gotta please watch his game. What's
are
his
you talking
name, Doc?
about PJ Haggerty?
That's man.
The
Look,
point guard, yeah.
man. Look, Uncle Ford.
Uh,
I went to the game to watch this young man live. AI 2.0, and that's all I'm gonna say.
okay, I got to check him out. And what you
Yeah,
say?
you got
What's the name again?
PJ Haggerty.
Okay,
Oh,
I'll check him out.
he from
They
down
usually
AI
play on Sundays. I
AI.
know in Memphis.
I'm gonna say this again. AI 2.0.
Okay,
6'3",
Man, he
190,
where's it?
dog.
What's his hometown?
Crosby, Texas.
Oh, he's from Okay, okay. Well,
Southeast Texas.
I'm gonna say this about Memphis. As long as Penny listens to Mike Davis, he'll be all right.
Well, I
If he
mean,
listen to Mike Davis, he'll be all right.
Penny has the most secure job in college basketball because he's a homegrown guy.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Hell yeah.
So he's gonna keep that job as long as he wants it.
Yeah.
But I really believe that with him, he's built a team that's gonna compete this year. And I can truly say that, it's looking like, because at first I was like, okay, that's a Sweet 16 team. But man, if you watch them play, they kind of graduate into that Elite Eight, Final Four ish. I ain't
But
gonna
they've
say
always had the talent up there as long as Penn has been there. He's always been 12, 13 deep.
I'm gonna tell you like this: Memphis has always had talent, even when Josh Pastner was the head coach.
He was terrible. And he was awful. And then they sent him down here to Atlanta to tap Tech. He was awful. And then they gave him a big job at ESPN.
Yeah, he coached at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, he was terrible.
And then who else before Pastner, man? I'm gonna tell you just like this. Yeah, Tubby
I mean,
Smith.
Memphis has had they've had some great coaches. I mean, you go back to Larry Finch,
Don't forget Dana Kirk. Remember Dana Kirk?
Dana Kirk.
Yeah. You remember
Gene Bartow?
Gene Bartow is the great. I think
Bartow, that's who coached Larry Finch. Gene Bartow.
Is Gene Bartow, Finch, and then you
gotta go with Dana Kirk.
Gotta go with Dana Kirk, but you also got to go with Calipari.
Yeah, Calipari.
Yeah, Calipari was something else. Yeah, he was.
Calipari.
He was something else. I mean,
yeah, he was something else.
Because
yes,
although he was one and done, you realize that people still talk about Derrick Rose to this day.
Yeah.
Oh man,
they still talk about him to this day in Memphis, man. I mean, that guy, I'm a Bulls fan. If it would have been for that injury, man, we'd have got 2 championships out of him easily. Because
was he on the Tom? Was it Thibodeau? Was his coach? Who was his coach?
Thibodeau.
Thibodeau was his coach. He ran us down. He ran them players. He ran them players in the ground because you got to think back then you had Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, and Joakim Noah.
Yeah, I remember that team. Yeah,
I remember Noah from Florida.
Yeah, I remember
that was a team. Then you had a bunch of role players and all that stuff, and and then I remember one year we had added Boozer to the team. So I mean,
and then they got rid of Jimmy Butler for nothing. They sent him up to Minneapolis or somewhere. That was stupid.
We sent him to the Timberwolves. So
that was stupid. That didn't make no sense.
Well, let me ask y'all opinion on this. What do y'all think Golden State gonna look like with Jimmy Butler in the playoffs?
That's when he thrives in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's when he thrives.
So do you think they're gonna be able to beat OKC?
No.
What do you think? What do you think about the Lakers in the West come playoff time?
They gonna be out, but what's gonna hurt the Lakers is frontline play. When they start letting them foul you and hit you and be physical, that's what's gonna hurt the Lakers. The Lakers don't have a pure front line.
Yeah.
See, in the regular season, they just let them run up and down the court. In the playoff, they let you fight. They let you fight in the playoffs, baby. It becomes very physical.
So who y'all think coming out the West?
Great question.
I'm looking more out of the West. Well, they're going to try to tear the Lakers out of the West because Oklahoma City is still a young team.
Okay, see, Gilgeous Alexander.
Mm-hmm. They're still a young team.
I mean, SGA is a baller, man. He's gotten better every single year. I mean, from Kentucky all the way up until now, he's gotten better and better and better and better. I hadn't seen a player like that in a long time, besides a Jimmy Butler, that's gotten better. Every year.
I'm looking at these info from the NFL Combine. I think cornerbacks and safeties did their 40s today.
Yeah, you
Maxwell
had a guy who ran
Harrison
a 4.28. You had a guy who ran a
Maxwell
4.28
Harrison from
today.
Kentucky.
You had a guy run a 4.28 or 4.3. Yeah, you had some. You got some guys, man. These wide receivers better watch out because you got some fast corners coming into this league. Fast. I'm talking about fast too. But I'm very interested in what the receivers gonna do tomorrow.
Yes, receivers. We'll say receivers and running backs got tomorrow.
Right. Now I'm looking for
Ford.
that Marion, what is it, Hampton from North Carolina? I don't know why people not beat Amarian Hampton. I know from North Carolina, the running back from North Carolina. He's good.
I think offensive lineman is what the next day, not tomorrow, but the next day.
I took Coach Willis Simmons because he coached him up for real.
Well, we're gonna talk more about that tomorrow. I'm probably come on live tomorrow after the games. We got a big game tomorrow in Jackson. Jackson State is taking on Texas Southern.
That boy's the real deal.
Is that televised?
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be on Swag Digital Network on
Oh,
YouTube.
okay.
I mean, no, it'll go to
Give me some
Sunday. I'm
games to
sorry.
watch.
Yeah, it's going to Sunday from bring it up. Yes, digital network, but again, not trying to tonight, man. For real, very appreciated.
Oh yeah. Men play Prairie View on Monday, and then, like I said, we got it's the home stretch until we do the tournament. You want to be the first two. You want to be the first top two teams to finish out in the conference, so you get that bye. But you also want to be 3, 4, 5, and 6 to where you can get a double bye. It's kind of strange how they got how they got the conference tournament set up. But I understand where they was coming from. But we gonna get up out of here. My eyes are bothering me right now. My sinuses is kicking my butt.
Let me raise one more thing. I need to ask both of you all. The guy that's coaching at Florida A&M, Patrick Crary, Mr. Ford and Doc.
Doing a great job.
Does he kind of remind you talk about Rick Pitino? Do you think he kind of the way he approaches things? You think he kind of approaches things kind of like Pitino in his mentality?
He's a DMV dude. His whole mentality is.
Yeah, I know he's from that DMV area. Exactly.
Yeah, I think he. I don't know if he got the Pitino mindset, but his whole mindset is about, man, let's go out there and hoop.
Yeah, I noticed that about him. I noticed him in that 220 quarterback club meeting when he spoke.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing a great job. They were 9-6 in the conference.
Yeah,
that's a big upgrade over from last year.
Yeah. In his first season, they gave the board of trustees said, "Hey, look, let's give him. Go ahead, and give him it's a 2-year contract."
I think so.
Yeah, so it could equal out to the 3 years, to that 3-year contract they were supposed to get. Again, and also, man, shout out to Miss Tiffany Dawn Sykes, who is now the vice president of intercollegiate athletics at her alma mater, Virginia State University.
Oh, okay, I heard.
So,
yeah, I saw it today too.
So she is back to being an AD at her alma mater. Hey, we shall see what's going to happen with that. I'll see you later, Chuck.
All right, you take care. You all have a nice night, you too.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, Mr. Ford. I will holler at you
tomorrow.
Okay.
You say y'all coming tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'll be on probably around about 6.
And don't forget, congratulations to it was South Carolina State got R2 status and Virginia State got R2 status.
That's congratulations to both of them.
Yes, congratulations both of them. And Howard remains our only R1 status university.
Mm-hmm.
HBCU.
Yep. And again, of course, kudos for President Zelensky from the Ukraine for standing up against those two morons in the Oval Office today. And then let them try to chump him out. So good for him. Other than that, man, we're gonna be up out of here. Again, I want to send my condolences and my prayers and my well wishes to the Wilson family from HBCU Overdrive family. To y'all, we sincerely and humbly send you condolences and well wishes, and hopefully you can get over. Hopefully you can um, uh, get clarity and see the light at the end of the tunnel. And of course, like I said, justice be swift. That's all I gotta say. It's all right, Mr. Ford. I'll see you later.
Okay. Y'all have a good night. Okay.
And as for that, we are up out of this thing. Be blessed. Stay safe. Hug your loved ones. Hug your loved ones. We are out of this thing. Be